Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on the 13th Weco webinar. My name is Judit Sztankóné Szabó. I am the head of sales for Weco-Travel Hungary. Thank you for coming for today's session. My panelist partner is Mr. Marcin Ziniewicz from Amadeus. Hello, Marcin. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
Hello, Judit. Thank you for having me.
Marcin is a travel technology expert, has been working in Amadeus for over 10 years, though he started his career in the travel IT industry almost 20 years ago. He was responsible for sales and account management within travel agencies portfolio in the CE region, managing relationship with both leisure and corporate travel-oriented travel agencies. Marcin was also working in a hotel industry as well as managed in Poland an online travel agency, Opodo, a well-known brand in Europe, where his main area of responsibility was a corporate self-booking tool adoption in the market. Today we are talking about the post-pandemic life in business travel, and I would like to kindly ask you, ladies and gentlemen, that if you have any questions during our discussion or during Marcin's presentation, please put it in the chat or in the Q&A section, which you can find at the bottom of your screen in the middle. So pandemic has hit the world so suddenly back in 2020 and took much longer than anybody thought or expected. It turned our lives upside down and we had to adapt to the new situation both privately and professionally. Travels were banned by governments and tourism industry needed to be shifted on different online platforms where it was possible at all, of course. Marcin, as you are working at a tech company and living your everyday life in the virtual world, my first question is, how did your work with your partners changed, if it has changed at all?
Yeah, thank you for this question. Actually, not so much, of course, except the way we're interacting with each other and with our customers, which was a new experience for us all. So mainly instead of face-to-face meetings, we converted to virtual spaces during the pandemic. 90% or so of our meetings were held on Teams or Zoom. Actually, but during the last 2 years, we were quite busy building solution which help travelers to book and travel in a more, let's say, hassle-free way. Still working hand in hand with all actors in the travel domain, like mainly travel agencies, travel management companies like Weco, but also airlines, corporations, hotel chains, airports, and other players. Thanks to better technologies, actually we carry on with our efforts as our ambitions are still the same. So to make the travel ecosystem more frictionless. And during my presentation, I will give you some examples.
Great, thank you. And what do you see? How did pandemic change the corporate travel habits? What are the needs now?
Yeah, thank you for this question. Let me share quickly with you a few slides so I can. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so actually many things changed, yes, as COVID first forced us to pay more attention to many aspects, but foremost one of them was, of course, how to regain trust and safety of travelers. So let me start with some findings. We have engaged with discussion with over 100 C-level executives from business travel agencies around the globe during 2020-2021. And we asked them about their views on the current situation, the pace of recovery, and the factors that will shape the recovery, but also about the top priorities, needs and business strategy, which were supposed to help accelerate the recovery. And as you said in your intro, business travelers faced significant and unprecedented challenges, mainly encountering frictions points during the COVID-19 pandemic. There was no doubt that the needs of both corporations and business travelers are related. On one hand, travelers are looking for trust and safety. As you can see that for 64%, it was the top one concern. But on the other hand, for corporations, before letting them be back on the road, it was the duty of care and the risk management were their top priorities for 74%. And as an outcome, was the travelers' trust had to be reestablished. Yeah? As people want to travel, but they must feel confident before traveling again. So for us at Amadeus, it was then clear that we need to focus on these 5 areas to help better manage the business traveler experience and navigate in the COVID-19 situation. So on top of the mentioned duty of care, risk management was, as you see on the screen, that business travel becomes more mandated. So the corporation's policies, including approval flows for travel, had to and were changing more often. And last but not least, customer service in post-booking was never more important, as and the traveler experience is as a consequence is reshaped. So with a focus on more on biometrics and touchless travel becoming the new norm, and corporations will need to reassure travelers with such informations. So why confidence and trust are the new rules of the game? Because travelers and their employers need assurance that the travel protocols and processes are safe. Yeah? That's why corporations started applying new rules to pre-approval of trips. If travelers can't wait to travel and have confidence to do so, then the pre-approval of trips make sure it is as safe as reasonably possible, and will be confidence boosting move to that corporate need, actually. Yeah. So let's look at what business travelers told us. On top of the survey I shared with you on the previous slides, we launched also survey among over 1,400 business travelers, and for them the 2 major outcomes coming out of this survey was that people are willing to travel for business because first, human interactions and collaborations are particularly important, especially amongst the most frequent flyers, as for them sharing ideas and social connections are top drivers for business travel. And the second was that actually for larger enterprises and frequent travelers, they are on average more keen to travel. Yeah, so you will see it from based on our survey. But now we can look closer at how important various measures were in reassuring them to travel for business. And you see the list of different measures were supposed to be implemented, and the number 2, the 2 most important were offering up-to-date information about destination in the country where there are COVID-19 regulations, and the restriction are the most important to corporate travels as well. Yes, and the second was the ability to use contactless, as important as mandatory test, vaccine certificate, but it was even more important for travelers, frequent travelers, and chief executives. And actually, yeah, the frequent travelers prioritize convenience. The more you travel, the more significant this is. Yeah, that was the outcome. So as in the survey, if you write information was the most important aspect. As the response to this need, we have implemented a feature which is allowing to display up-to-date information about destination in the country with the COVID-19 regulations and the travel restrictions. Amadeus, together with our partner Riskline, which is a world-leading travel security and risk consultant, integrated COVID-specific information and intelligence within mobile messaging solutions, as well.
Yeah, that would be actually my next question, that what type of answers or solutions can Amadeus offer for these needs? So that's what we can see now. Okay.
Yeah, yes. But during the next slides, you will see real examples how it is working, just as an intro. So it was the mobile messaging powered by right information coming from the risk line, which is taking care of the information quality and the frequency, as well as safety data directly into your corporation self-booking tool, which is Cytric in our case. So while in the booking flow, the current restrictions are displayed accordingly. And it's personalized based on your O&D selection when you start availability search. On top of it, the user can filter for hotels with these indicators to display right level of information to travelers on the airline's health-related measures, as well as icon informs user that property is following COVID-19 healthy and safety measures. Yeah? Another one, according to the top priority, was digital assistance. The request from our user was to offer assistance before, during, and after the business trip. And thanks to our digital assistant, which is Amadeus Mobile Messenger, also powered by information coming from Riskline, you can offer your travelers full support, including real-time tracking with GPS localization and taking action to assist them in real time. So your duty of care is met anytime help or support is needed. Another one was already mentioned was the touchless and paperless. So like a passport control or security check, and the ability to pay with contactless method for hotel, restaurant, or taxi expenditures whenever you need during your trip. And of course, check-in and check-out at airports and the hotels. And actually, contactless technologies became a necessity in the COVID-19 context to simply ensure safe travel and reduce the risk of getting infected. And we have facilitated verification and digitalized checks at every touch point when at the airports, boarding, or check-in at the hotels. And now, over 1 year after industrialization of our digital traveler ID, actually every day many thousands of travelers can enjoy shorter queuing and contactless interaction whenever they are during their trips. Another one pointed as in the survey was the top important mandatory test vaccine certificate for boarding a plane. And here again, Amadeus Traveler ID is also a cornerstone of digital health passport concept. And here we are engaged with many tourist organizations like IATA, but also with airlines and airports, and collaborate an advance of a notion of digital health passport. Yeah, protocols and standards are still being put in place, but when ready, we'll be integrating that into their departure control solutions, so that information flows seamlessly, and the check-in staff can use that to enable check-in and boarding procedures. Last but not least was in the payment area, where delays in refunds from disrupted flights were major concerns and actually impacted financial of corporations. And as a result of, based on our another survey, new option in payment area started to emerge, predominantly pay when you fly and buy now, pay later. What is actually all about? Pay when you fly sees a traveler pay a small deposit the time of booking, typically approximately 10 to 15% of the fare, just to secure reservation, which is only refundable if the service is not provided by the airlines. And the challenges with the administration of the refunds have also impacted travel confidence. And as you see from this survey, for 81% of the respondents confirmed, they confirmed that the bigger risk of cancellation is was a barrier to book travel during 2021, and pointing that the refund uncertainty and inconvenience of the refund process were high on their concern list. And with the buy now, pay later option, according to the survey results, respondents say that such option may be more for leisure travelers, for 40% of them, it would be an option which helped them make the decision and travel again like they did before the pandemic started. But it's not the full picture, you know, but underneath how COVID has impacted your business and the way employees collaborate. And despite that, frequent travelers are missing or were missing opportunities to collaborate, interact. New way of working comes with a set of trends like workation, remote work, conscious travel, or mixed up. And now it's a kind of imperative to digitally transform our workplace to operate effectively. And today we work and collaborate. The way we work and collaborate has changed, I think, forever, and here is to stay. But so the next is to embrace the change, and we are here to help to climb back on this new norm. And thanks to a collaboration with Microsoft, we are ready to unlock the way you book your trips and travel as well, the same way like you change the way you work, part from home, part from the office, or using the concept of a workation or hybrid workplace. Yeah, so hybrid is, in my opinion, and based on the service I'm presenting here from Microsoft as well, but also our Amadeus survey, was the hybrid work is inevitable. And we can see from these findings that employees want the best of both worlds. Yeah. So for 67% based on Microsoft study, they want more in-person work or collaborate post-pandemic with their teams, while at the same time, for 73% of workers, they want flexible remote with options to continue. Based on our survey, for 62%, they prefer seeing colleagues and customers to conduct businesses face-to-face, as they believe that sharing ideas and that occurs in-person events or meetings, and specifically closing deals or contacts is easier when in person. Yeah? And last but not least, for 60%, they feel less connected to their colleagues since working remotely more often. So the way you work has changed forever again. And during the next part of our presentation, I will walk you through the new experience of business traveler, possible customer of TMC like Weco, which is a reseller of our flagship solution for corporations, which is Cytric, as well as Amadeus Mobile Messenger duty of care solution.
Perfect, thank you. And why is it better, or maybe better is not the right word, why is it worse to use online solutions than offline, powered by, you know, travel consultants?
Okay, yeah. There are many advantages of self-booking tool is offering comparing to offline channels. That's for sure. It's proven by different researchers and studies. The main one is the value that in the blink of an eye you can get tailored offers, which should live up to both traveler and company expectation, as visual guild guarantee savings, both in direct as well as indirect costs, which are coming as a result of increased travel policy compliance. Yeah? On top of this, you can improve productivity of travelers, travel managers, and costs related to frauds and human errors, which are quite important, and most likely reach tangible savings thanks to better negotiations with your preferred suppliers. But again, last but not least, a huge part of optimization potential, and in the end of the day, savings lies in the travel expense process, including integration capabilities with ERPs and HR systems like SAP and others.
However, I think many people are still afraid of booking online, and mainly in such uncertain times, just as you mentioned previously regarding the restrictions about COVID-19. So how can bring confidence? How can a tool like Cytric or mobile messenger can bring confidence to traveling and to book it and manage it online?
Yeah, Cytric is a very user-friendly, and when travel policy is well set up with right approval flows, no need to be afraid. Yeah? However, it's always good practice to have an upskilling session for both travel arrangers and travelers. And I'm pretty sure that TMC like Weco is able to give you good consultation, and travel agents are also here there to help with more complex itineraries or content which is not bookable online. Yeah?
Okay, so can you please show us your presentation about these tools?
Sure. So let me jump to my presentation and visualize the hassle-free of business travel experience based on Hannah trips as an example. She's 42 years old and she works in pharmacy company in Dubai for the past 7 years. And she's going on her first business trip during Corona, and she's about to go to Geneva. Hannah is using Cytric Travel and Expanse, which is cloud-based software for travel management with modular design. It's used by over 11,000 corporations, different sizes in over 100 countries all over the world. And as a true end-to-end solution, it covers the entire process chain from planning and booking the business trip through the claims for travel expense and reimbursement. All functions are provided to the user in the personal, intuitive web portal. And Cytric Travel Expanse offers interfaces to upstream and downstream systems, including financial, human resources, and ERP software, as well as credit card payment systems and the customer own intranet. Basically, Hannah trips planning begins before she starts her own search and booking with well set up. So depending on the reported health risk, customized regions can be created to simplify continuous changes in updates to policy with one single function. Yeah, Cytric has the ability to create custom regions that can include any city, country, region, or continent to manage destination based on associated risk levels. And by not confirming content for specific destinations, an agent can block options for these destinations from appearing. Yeah? This should be done in a conjunction with messaging to Hannah to inform her why no content is displayed. Depending on the specifics and the needs of the corporation, it's possible first to deactivate multi-destination option or activate nearby airports because smaller nearby airports might have less traffic and lower density of travelers, for example. And now Hannah can search direct flights and or a specific via city. She's permitted to choose non-stop to reduce connections and extra time spent in the airports, as well is allowed to choose the option via, as she may find airports that have, for example, strict cleaning protocols or efficient health checks in place. And these options have an effect on what is the lowest logical fare, which probably would increase travel costs in some cases, but have a greater focus on traveler safety and health. On top of the settings, you can also consider reducing number of stops to one or number of hours for connections. And these options can also have an effect on what is the lowest logical fare and probably increase travel costs in some cases, but the same as the previous setting, have a greater focus on traveler safety and health. Another useful feature can be a travel wizard from Cytric that feature can control where the traveler can book based on the concept of what trip they want. Yeah? Travel Wizard can act as a travel check gateway prior to searching, redirecting the traveler to book, for example, either online or offline, or require pre-approval prior to booking availability, or booking should be made via rail instead of air, or online booking is not allowed. You can also direct travelers to initiate requests to book via Travel Wizard when your corporations, for example, allow only online booking for domestic travel, or recommend offline booking or pre-booking approval for international travel, or you want to block at-risk countries destination. In Cytric, there are 3 different approval flows, from simple to complex. As at the beginning of the presentation, I shared with you that those travel policy change more often. And thanks to these capabilities, you could use basic approval flows with 1 or 2 levels, sequential approval flow, or enhanced approval system when you have sequential or parallel approval required up to 5 levels. And you can also have dynamic approval flows based on your forms data format values, and the approval associated with the forms data format value, like a project-based approval, for example. And you can use the following approval triggers, like a price limit, out of policy, booking period, destination, service class selected, and booking source. And thanks to this, you can, for example, consider to set all flights that are not out of policy or that need approval to the pre-approved. And in the end of the day, this allows an approver to reject the trip with a defined number of hours if needed. And here we have an example of schema for these types of approval, the basic one of with 1 approver and enhanced one with more approvers. Cytric allows personal links to internal sites, and these links can be placed in any sublist of the personal portal page and redirect the traveler to any URL selected by the company. And as an example here, COVID-19 information link appears every time a flight booking button is clicked. So this HANA will always have a possibility to check it. In Cytric, you can create automatic reports delivered daily on who is traveling or who booked that day. And you can also create ad hoc reports that can report on specific data points and deliver automatically via email. So can allows you to, as a travel manager, to be proactively aware in case approvals are not required. Yeah, when Cytric settings match the travel policies and logic, HANA can finally start searching and booking her trip from Dubai to Geneva. And with the Cytric Travel and Expense, she can book flights, hotel rooms, train, car rentals, or airport transfers, and on a single website in a personal portal, including claiming for travel expenses, which is as easy as a child plays too. So as the first step, she's exploring flight options. And here important to underline that is that HANA employers has the contract with TMCs, like for example, Weco, so they can together revise company travel policy due to pandemic. And she knows that both Cytric solution and her agent from the business travel agency are there for her. So HANA starts searching and selects round trip flight. She can already review COVID-19 measures starting from this step until the booking completion. All data provided by the risk line, our specialist and duty of care partner is updated on the regular basis, using many reliable sources of information about possible irregularities and disruptions. And yeah, she selects round trip from Dubai to Geneva, sorting offers by lowest fare, and easily identifies recommended ones. She selects fare with full visibility of the main fare rules and details, so she can check again COVID-19 measures, dates and time, total time of flight, class, change allowance, baggage allowance, fare type and price. And moreover, she can review both suggested and other fares. So all of this data is presented to Hannah in a consolidated manner and in a single screen. Since travel costs are significant cost factor for business, choosing the wrong fares and ignoring the travel guidelines drive up the cost of business travel. That's why choosing the best price was a common practice before, and now this factor has become even more important. And Hannah will be notified if the system finds cheaper alternatives after she made the choice. So chosen option is now out of policy. She can still select it, but she will need to provide a reason before completing the booking. Let's move on choosing the hotel. Hannah begins to search for a hotel where she will stay in Geneva. Yeah, and in her policy, she can stay the preferred hotel locations only. So using Cytric hotel program, upload or preferred hotel chains tabs allows her to consider requiring Hannah to stay at the preferred hotel chains, which have strict cleaning protocols in place, or alternatively remove hotels that have health and safety issues in the past, or can limit hotel stays to those which are near her main locations to reduce need of additional travel. So Cytric finds the preferred hotel that meets all search criteria with strict cleaning protocols and close to her location. And she can see four source of content in this particular case, which is HRS, Amadeus, HCorpo, and Booking.com. And on the same screen, she sees links that allows her to check the hotel reviews on TripAdvisor or write her own review. Additional source of reviews is Tripism. Tripism allows travelers to share insights and reviews for trip planning. And trips booked through Amadeus Cytric can be automatically synced with Tripism so that the travelers can easily add relevant information that is useful for their peers and submit reviews. And the benefit for Hannah is that she gets content from her company's preferred travel suppliers, aggregated with travel reviews from their colleagues working in the same company, and it's within the company travel policy. So again, all in one single platform. Cytric also can facilitate an upload of unused tickets, as there were many disruptions during the last 2 years. So the ratio of unused tickets increased comparing to the pre-pandemic, and you as a user or admin can extract the list from my user profile and via manual or automated upload an unused ticket can be selected and applied, and this feature allow travelers to dynamically select and apply the funds to cover part of the cost to book a new ticket. And going back to the flight booking, at complete flight booking stage, Hannah can check it in a short and in a more detailed way. Cytric also supports the ability to configure already mentioned free data fields to capture additional travel data. And here is an example of creating a mandatory checkbox that Hannah needs to check to complete her booking, and as a result, captured into the PNR. Up to 900 free data fields can be configured as an optional mandatory check box or a text entry or as a conditional, and these fields can be added in a various area of the booking flow or in the profile. Cytric supports the ability for travelers to self-service and self-manage the booking online directly by themselves 24/7. And by default, it allows change and cancel the booking, pre-ticketing, also hotel, car, rail transfer or allow modification of the booking. And combined as optional, combined with the ticket changer, if implemented, can extend this functionality to allow change and cancellation to the air bookings, even post-ticketing. Hannah is also a Cytric mobile app user, so she can manage and be informed on the go. As Cytric mobile app support management of the trips, but also flight changes notification, airline check-in, cancellation of bookings, approvals, and she can receive an in-app messages from travel arrangers or travel managers. Before the flight, Hannah received automatically generated information regarding the time window to make her COVID test based on the booking data. As we know, this time window differs from country to country, and moreover, as some situation evolves quite dynamically, therefore it's very important that the process of informing and reminding is digitalized and as quick as possible. And for easy boarding and contactless process at the airport, Hannah can create digital identity directly within her airline app. Again, thanks to Amadeus Traveler ID, she can scan her passport and take selfie as a face identification. If she agrees to use the face recognition, she can experience more seamless journey at the airport, and she can decide which service she wants to leverage this profile, like boarding or security. And yeah, knowing her correct time window to make COVID-19 test, Hannah made it and scan her test results also using this airline app. And by the way, it does not matter if the certificate is on paper, QR code made via a third party like IATA Travel Pass, or with a test center like Centogene, for example. Quite popular throughout Europe. Hannah reached the baggage control, so she does not have to queue. She can leave her luggage also contactless at self-service baggage drop. She goes to the bag drop-off and selects her airline and destination, consent to use biometric identification, and instantly she's ready to leave her luggage. Just for your information, Amadeus ICM is a market leader for self-bag drops and has its own biometric stack. And our hardware has so far processed over 100 million bags at 39 terminals, among others are Sydney, Heathrow, or Narita, Tokyo, just to name a few. Since Hannah agreed to the automatic transfer of the biometric data when she did her check-in in the airline apps, it reduced her number of contacts and saved both her and the airport staff time. And the same at the gate, thanks to the biometric boarding, digital validation of the test certificate ensures a fast boarding process, so Hannah did not have to wait in a queue. And when arrived in Geneva, she's just leaving the airport terminal as she booked her transfer to take her to the hotel. And she can pick one of the options. And finally, she arrived to the hotel in Geneva. And in her case, to enter the hotel, a valid ID and access certificate are needed. So thanks again to the traveler ID, Hannah agrees to share her digital ID and COVID-19 scans from her airlines apps so the hotel can also use it and help her check in seamlessly via her smartphone, for example. And now she can plan to relax and looking forward to her first morning in Switzerland. When in her room, she can receive activity recommendation as part of her itinerary, can easily book in Check My Trip, which is a free of charge option to all mobile app. However, if you are a Cytric mobile premium version of the app, no need to download Check My Trip, as you can book different activities directly in the Cytric mobile app itself. And but if things change while Hannah is in Geneva, thanks to Amadeus Mobile Messenger, our duty of care solution integrated with Cytric app, her agent will be able to quickly inform her and all others clients in Geneva using the one-way or two-way feedback message, a fast and efficient travel tool to manage any type of incident in real time. Mobile Messenger is a service-based solution, so it's focusing on delivering on-trip travel-specific communication and services based on the travel-related events, and it provides a holistic visual representation of all travelers' itineraries and enables real-time communication with travelers via SMS, email, or push notification to locate and support them in case of trip disruption or other event. And it can enable corporate HR and security departments or agency call center to provide superior proactive services to their employees during any event such as weather disruptions, natural disasters, terror alerts, crisis, and other COVID, for example, informations. While Hannah is on her trip, she can scan her receipts using Cytric mobile app OCR technology and report expenses even before returning home. And with Cytric paperless approach to expense management, receipts are retained digitally, so Hannah can enjoy document-free travel. And in the end of the day, this eliminates the need for keeping paper receipts and offers more digitalized travel and expense experience. Yeah. Okay, that was, I think we are running out of time, but still.
Thank you. No, it's still okay. Thank you for this presentation. So just to sum up, what is unique in this product that cannot be found in any other system? Can you please highlight 3 or 5?
Sure. Yeah, there are a number of features I presented, but to underline a few, just to give you a heads up, we have an exclusivity with Microsoft and integration of Cytric with Microsoft 360 package. So your travelers, users can easily book or share your trips, not going out of Outlook or Teams. Which is kind of helping to improve the user experience for sure. As you can see, we have plans to have more integration more deeply with Cytric, with Microsoft, as we started strategic cooperation some time ago with Microsoft. So stay tuned. But to name other few highlights, I would say that Amadeus Ticket Changer is a quite unique selling point of Cytric, and it offers ability for quick and accurate ticket modification of cancellation post-ticketing. NDC is a hot topic for all, I think, and here we have in place there is NDC X integration with Cytric. So we can source content directly from NDC compliant airlines via our Amadeus Travel platform. Very important is that we use this, we offer the cube channel concepts, which is letting Cytric source data from different providers at various levels of granularity, leading to saving in costs, flexibility, and negotiations power. So you can implement your contracts with the hotel providers like Booking.com or HRS, or negotiated fares from airlines coming from specific corporation. And another unique selling point is that we are offering for air offers. We are offering combining of two-way, one-way tickets. So it specifically on European networks can help generate savings. And I think, yeah, the very important is that in the app, now you have can book, have a duty of care and expense in one single app. Yeah, so it's something I think unique.
Yes, absolutely. And connected to this, because we were talking about Cytric, Amadeus Mobile Messenger. So should the user register into these platforms one by one, or how does it look like? Or they can use a single sign-on?
They can, yes, single sign-on is usually, of course, it's possible, and usually is allowing users from corporation side to stay logged in with one credentials when they are in their own environment, like intranet, so they don't need to log in again into the Cytric, so they can quickly get an access to the booking tool.
So it's the same for the mobile app as well. So if he has already credentials in Cytric desktop version and he or she downloads the mobile app, he can use the same credentials as in the desktop version.
Yeah, but you as admin of Cytric, as a reseller, you need to allow PIN actually for mobile.
Ah, okay.
One step, but in one single app, you can have this search and book reconciliation from the expense part, and being notified in case of any disruptions using this mobile messenger, as they are integrated into one platform, into one app. However, you can use still both. Yeah. So alternatively, and for this premium version of mobile app, you can get this capability to book in destination different activities.
Perfect. Okay, and as much as I checked, no questions received from our audience. So last but not least, my question is if there are any limitation regarding the size of the companies who can use these tools?
Actually, Cytric can facilitate both needs of SMEs, so small, mid-sized enterprises, and big corporations. As I mentioned before, it's used by over 11,000 corporations in over 100 markets. But the best approach to understand what could be a return on investment for your specific company is to make your own calculations. And I'm pretty sure that Weco Account Manager can help you with this, depending on your travel spend and business objective you want to achieve.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Marcin, for your time and this great presentation. For our attendees, I would like to draw your attention that there will be a short survey at the end of the webinar, which takes 1 minute to fill in, one rating and one idea section, where we are happy to hear about your ideas, what you would like to hear from us on our next webinars. And also, if you would like to get notifications about our webinars and news from travel and meetings and events industry, you can subscribe to our newsletter, as well as follow us on our social media platforms, LinkedIn and Facebook. So thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much, Marcin, again, for your kind participation, and see you next time.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Judith. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.